Hello guys, today we're going to talk about documents that are required when you go for your DV lottery visa interview at the US Embassy or Consulate. All this information is available at travel.state.gov. It's important to note that all the documents have to be in English, so if you have any translations to be made, then you need to do that ahead of time. If you have recently been to an interview, DV lottery interview, and you've experienced something different, or they're asking you different things from what is going to be said on this video, please leave me a comment on the comment section. Let me know which embassy that was, which country, and what is different from what we are going to talk about today. Once again, we are going to talk about the documents that are required when you go for your visa interview. That's if you are a DV lottery winner. So, first of all, congratulations to all the DV lottery winners. And as you prepare for your interview, this is the website that you need to be familiar with. Diversity Visa Program. It gives you step by step on what to do after you have submitted your entry. So if you're preparing for the interview, you should prepare thoroughly. Don't just assume that things are going to be smooth. To avoid delays, you need to be well prepared. So after you've been notified of your scheduled interview, you'll need to take the following important steps in advance of the interview date. You need to review your information, the time, the notice date, the time, the date, and the location of your immigrant visa interview. Make sure you're going to the right place and you have the right time and the right date. And then review US Embassy or Consulate interview instructions. In case they have given you extra instructions, additional instructions, make sure that you're reviewing that before you go. For a list of US embassies and consulates, you can click on that link right there and it will take you to different embassies and consulates if you're not familiar. So be sure that you have scheduled your you have completed your medical examination. In Kenya, it's IOM. So make sure you go there and complete your medical examination. Be prepared financial wise. Make sure you have the money enough to pay for you and for your other applicants, your dependents, if you have a wife, a husband, and children. So if you're given an envelope, make sure you bring it to the embassy sealed. A lot of times, physicians will send that exam result directly to the embassy so you don't have to worry about it. But if they give it to you to deliver to the interview, to the embassy, don't open it. Leave it sealed. And then gather photographs and all remaining required documents. Everybody needs 2 passport size photographs, colored, identical, to take to the interview. Like I said, it says 2 identical photos to the interview. Bring those, review the photo requirements. By this time, you already know the kind of photographs that you need, the passport photos that you need that follow the required specifications. Make sure it's acceptable. And then now for the required documents, you need that appointment information page, the appointment notice date that has the date, the time, and the location. You need the DS-260 confirmation page. You can print this anytime at the website where you checked the results, Consular Electronic Application Center. And then you need passports for you as a primary applicant and for anybody else that is on the application, your husband, your wife, your children. The passport needs to be valid for 6 months beyond the intended date of entry into the US. And then original documents or certified copies. If you have a marriage certificate, if you have marriage termination documents like a divorce decree, adoption papers, if you have an adopted child, make sure you bring those. And then evidence of required DV qualifying education or work experience. So we are talking about your 12-year course of elementary and secondary education. That's the minimum. For Kenya, KCSE, make sure you have that certified copy or original of your KCSE certificate. And if you're qualifying through work, make sure you bring those documents demonstrating that you have 2 years of qualifying work experience in the last 5 years immediately prior to application. And this is the website that you can go to make sure that your job qualifies in that category of work experience qualifications. Then if you've ever been deported or removed at government expense from the United States, you must obtain a Form I-212, and that's permission to reapply after deportation from the U.S. From USCIS, and follow the instructions included on that form so that they can review it and see if you're eligible to be to re-enter the U.S. after previous deportation. If you are married applicants must obtain an original marriage certificate or a certified copy bearing the appropriate seal or stamp of the issuing authority. If you are divorced, you need a final divorce decree. If you're widowed, you need a death certificate. If your marriage was annulled, you need annulment papers. If you've been married several times, you need married and divorced several times, or married and then widowed, then married again. So you need proof and evidence of that. If you have adopted children, the adoptive parent must produce a certified copy of the adoption decree, legal custody decree if custody occurred before the adoption, a statement showing dates and places where a child resided with the parents, and if the child was adopted while aged 16 or 17 years, evidence that the child was adopted together with or subsequent to the adoption of a natural sibling under age 16 by the same adoptive parents. If they ask you for any more paperwork, make sure you bring that. So if you are in your correspondence going back and forth with them by email, if they had requested for something else, make sure you bring that. If you had prison records, if you had been arrested, if you had a police report, if you had military records, anything that shows a history about you, make sure you have the documents, because it's better to have the documents than not. Birth certificates of children for yourself, your birth certificate, that of your spouse if you're married, and birth certificates for your children. Make sure you bring those as well. DS-260 confirmation page, make sure you bring that. Don't forget that. The other thing that you need to bring with you is money to pay for the visa. Is $330 as of current year is $330. So convert that to your country and then make sure you bring that money to the embassy. I don't know if in Kenya you guys are allowed to pay via M-Pesa, or do you take it cash? Because you have to pay it before the interview. So this is a summary of what to bring to the interview: appointment letter, DS-260 confirmation page, passport for each applicant. It does not, it needs to be current, not expired. It needs to be valid for 6 months beyond the intended date of entry to the US. Photographs, 2 identical color photographs for each applicant. Photos must be the standards explained in the photographs requirements, and you can click on that if you need further explanation. Medical exam results. If they give you a sealed envelope, bring it with you. If not, the physicians will probably have sent it already to the embassy or consulate. Original and supporting documents, certified copies, marriage certificate, we talked about that, work and school education requirements, marriage termination documents, custody documentation, photographs will be kept, but your passport will be kept. Your passports will be kept after the interview if you are successful, because they will need to stamp your visas on the passports, and then they'll have given you, or you have already provided information of where they'll send the passports with the visa included. English translations. If documents require English translation, you must obtain certified translations and present them on the day of your interview. And then visa fees, obviously, you will not be interviewed if you have not paid. So make sure you're prepared when you go to the interview. Make sure you have everything in check. And if you need any more information, you can go to this website, travel.state.gov. So if you have experienced something different when you've gone to your interviews recently, let me know which country you went to. Let me know if there's anything else they've added for this year or they have removed. They'll do the fingerprints for you at the embassy. It's part of the interview process. So don't worry about, I know some people are asking me, when do I do the biometrics, the fingerprinting? So it's done at the interview during that process. So yeah, those are the documents that you need when you go to your DV Lottery visa interview. If you have any questions, please leave them on the comment section. Also, I just wanted to say, if there's anybody in the US that has come through the DV Lottery, it doesn't matter what year, how long you've been here in the US, and you want to share your experience with us, feel free to reach out to me. You can leave me a message on the comment section, or just let me know that you would like to do an interview. We can schedule an interview and share your experience if you don't mind. I know there are people that don't like to have like interviews and stuff, but if you're okay with sharing your experience and informing people about how it is now that you're a new immigrant or coming through the DV Lottery, how was that experience? Which country did you come from? Because I know I have people that listen and watch from different parts of the world. So if you're in the US and you would like to have an interview about that, let me know and we can make it happen. Lucy Mongi USA, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.